Lorez Alexandria is one of those singers. Let me back up and start again. Lorez Alexandria is a person who I've known for many years. When I used to come here and play on the south side or at the Sutherland Lounge, I used to hear this marvelous singer. She had not recorded a great deal in those days, and she was singing in small clubs, but boy, she really had a quality that was unusual. And everybody was talking about Dinah Washington in those days, but they certainly were listening to Lorez Alexandria and hearing some really good things from her, even in her formative stages. There is quite a crowd here from Chicago that's going to be very aware of her commitment to Chicago music, and I think they're going to be as happy as we are to see her. In just a moment, we're going over to Michael Cuscuna, who is talking with Lorez Alexandria. Are you there, Michael?
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Billy. Thank you very much. You didn't hear him, but Billy just said some lovely things about you. I am here with Lorez Alexandria. Is this, have you been away from Chicago for a long time in terms of performing?
About 2 years.
In
terms of performing.
Yeah.
Since 1962, in terms of living in Chicago. I live in Los Angeles now. I'm based out of Los Angeles, and I work mainly on the West Coast.
Back in the beginning, now you come from a family that had sang spirituals and gospel music, and that's something that's still very evident in your music. How did you make that transition? How did you sort of evolve into the secular music and get into the jazz singing?
It was something that I wanted to do, and it was something that in that time that it was easy for me to do because there were so many good people on the scene there. There was Sarah Vaughan, and there was Carmen McRae, as there still is.
Yeah.
And there were people that I listened to and respected and learned certain fundamentals from, and began to try to build on what they had already established to establish my own sound. And it's very hard sometimes to create a sound that people recognize immediately, that they know Lorez Alexandria when they hear it. And I've managed to do that, which in itself is a feat, because there's so many good singers in the business, and they've contributed so much, and they only help somebody who comes along behind. And that's what I'm trying to do now with young jazz singers who want to try to find a direction, correctness, and that this is all we have to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. When you started singing in Chicago in the mid-'50s, who were some of the musicians that were supportive and that you got to sing with?
Oh, well, one I have to mention, and he's such a great man, and he's still living in Los Angeles here, and he's still active, and he's playing. His name is King Fleming, and he is still one of the best pianists in the business, an arranger, and a man who had a great deal of faith in me and taught me so many things that I never would have been able to learn otherwise. And I love him dearly. And he was very fundamental and very instrumental in getting me off on the right foot. Mm-hmm. And of course, then you begin to establish yourself, and you have to know what you want to do. And regardless to all the good advice you get, you have to be steadfast and true to where you want to go with your music, which is what I've managed to do through a lot of flack and from a lot of people who said, Lorez, if you just sing one song straight, if you just sing one song without lagging behind the beat, you probably have a hit record. I said, so I'd have a hit record, but would I be happy?
Yeah. And would it be Lorez Alexandria?
It wouldn't be me. I sing the way I think, the way I feel. And it may not make me a lot of dollars, but it's made me a lot of really great friends and people who appreciate a jazz singer, remaining a jazz singer, in a day and time when the dollar sign and the affluence and the material things are more important to a lot of people.
Is that that refusal to compromise, is that why there was such a long drought between records? I mean,
No.
we waited a long time for...
That was something that I don't even want to discuss, but it was a personal thing. And I had to really go inside myself and see, did I still want to be hurt? Did I still want to be passed over? Did I still want to be not really recognized by my peers, the people that I really wanted to be recognized by, not people who would make money for me, but people who could appreciate what contribution I was making? I had to do a lot of soul searching, and I just went into a hiatus of my own accord and really did not want to record. And I did this of my own volition, and not from pressure and not from anybody not being willing to record me, but my not being willing to say, I'm going to go in, and whatever they tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do. I can't do that, and I can't do that today. And I don't
good.
intend to.
Thank you for being who you are, and we don't want to hold you up. I think you're about ready to go on stage. Okay, thank you, Lorez. And we'll go now to center stage, where Linda Prince is about to mount the mic and introduce Lorez.
It's music time again, folks, and part of the sheer enjoyment of this festival for a lot of us is the opportunity to reintroduce and to reacquaint the Chicago jazz community with some of the fine musicians who originally nurtured their art, their talent in this city. Now, as an itinerant jazz fan over the past 3 or 4 years, I've had the pleasure of seeing the rhythm section in a variety of contexts in Chicago jazz at some of the fine clubs around town, at the Jazz Showcase, and at some of the excellent parties that Mr. Larry Smith has been presenting at Chances Are on Sunday nights the past 5 or 6 years. On drums, Mr. Robert Shai. On bass, Mr. Danny Shapira. And the pianist is one of the most sensitive, intuitive soloists and accompanists in the city. His name is Willie Pickens. The vocalist and one of the great interpreters of American popular song and jazz-based song is a woman who was born in Chicago, performed many times around this city on the south side at the Regal Theater, and she began her recording career at one of the fine jazz labels based in the city of Chicago, the Argo Chess Conglomerate. And it's a real comment on the unavailability of classic jazz recordings that this lady doesn't even own a copy of her classic album Lorez Sings Prez, and probably couldn't afford it if she did. She's currently based in Los Angeles, records for the Discovery label. It's a real pleasure, and I hope you'll join with me in bringing back to Chicago Miss Lorez Alexandria.
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and maybe then you can see who you are. And on that clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being can outshine every star. You will feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore, and you can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever and evermore. Never heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever. You can see forever and ever and ever and ever. You can see forever and ever and ever and ever and evermore. Yes, you can. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's always such a great pleasure to be in Chicago because this is my hometown. I was born and raised on the west side of Chicago. That's right. I have some John Marshallites sitting out there. That's right. That's right. We'd like to thank you so very much for embracing jazz here at Grant Park in such a positive manner. Don't tell me nothing about it being dead. It's very much alive. And it's living in Chicago. We like to do a track from our latest Discovery LP entitled A Woman Knows. This particular song is the one that talks about a lady who cannot deal with what's going on around her today. And she doesn't feel as though she has a future, so she reverts to the past when things were very much better for her. And she does her reminiscing in a great many small, dimly lit bars. She walked into one such bar one afternoon and sat down, and there was a gentleman sitting there at the bar, and he turned to her and asked her, "Can I get you something?" And she said, "Something cool." I'd like to order something cool. It's so warm here in town, and the heat's got me down. Yes, I'd like something cool. It's not nice to simply sit and rest a while. Now, I know it's a shame, but I can't think of your name, though I remember your smile. I don't ordinarily drink with strangers. I most usually drink alone. But you were so awfully nice to ask me. And I'm so terribly far from home, far from home. Like my dragon. I must admit it's very old, but it's simple and neat, and it's just right for the heat. I'll save my furs for the cold. A cigarette, well, I don't smoke them as a rule, but I'll have one. It might be fun with something cool. I'll bet you couldn't imagine that I one time had a house with so many rooms. I could not count them all. I'll bet you couldn't imagine I had 15 different beaux who would beg and beg to take me to the ball. And oh, I'll bet you couldn't picture me the time I went to Paris in the fall. That the man I loved was quite that handsome, quite that tall. Well, yeah, it's true. Though just a memory I had. One I almost forgot. 'cause the weather's so hot and I'm feeling so sad. Oh, about a date, but wait, I'm such a fool. He's just a guy who stopped to buy me something tall and cool. Duke Ellington wrote a song about a very sassy young lady, and they called her his satin doll. Cigarette holder, which swings me, oh, go over his shoulder, he digs me. He is out catting with his pretty satin doll. Hey, 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 baby, could we go out skipping? But now watch it, amigo, she's flipping. Speaks Latin, his pretty satin doll. But remember, she is nobody's fool, so she's playing him cool. As can be, she may give me world. While she ain't for no dude catching, she switch a Rooney. Telephone numbers, well, you know, he's busy doing his rumbas with Uno. And that end is pretty satin doll. I ask you, did you ever catch a dig a cat with his little satin doll? Yeah. The girl really swings, she speaks Latin, his little satin doll. But remember now, she is nobody's fool, so she's playing him cool. And giggles can be, she make a give me world. While she ain't for no dude catching, she switch. Hey, Rooney, telephone numbers, you know, he's busy doing his rumbas with Uno. And that end is pretty satin doll. Now I'll ask you one more once. Did you dig it? Did you catch him, my cat? With his little satin doll. Yeah, 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 the girl swings and speaks Latin. His little satin doll. All together now. Spin, do it, speed, do it, do, 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 do it. You know, I always pay homage to pathfinders. And if there was ever a pathfinder, it was Miss Billie Holiday. She was a lady that lived that which she knew about best, which was heartache and heartbreak. And she had a dependency that was ever so much larger than the one that was always publicized. She had the dependency that a woman needs a good man. She never found one. She always got the other kind. They would go off and leave her when they got ready, come back when they got ready. But Lady Day was a lady of compassion, and she sit there and wait. One cat went off and stayed 2 weeks, and he came back with his lie in his mouth. Straightened up his clothes, he said, "Now, lady, I want to tell you what happened." And she looked at him with those great eyes of hers, and she said, "Hush now. Don't explain, just say you remain. I'm glad you're back, so don't explain. Don't explain. What is there to gain and don't explain. 'Cause you know that I love you, and what my love will endure. All my thoughts are of you, 'cause I am so completely yours. While I cry to hear folk chatter, and I know you cheat, but right or wrong don't matter. Anytime you're with me, sweet. Hush now, hush now, hush now, and don't explain, 'cause you're my joy as well as my pain. My life's always gonna be yours, love. Don't explain. Now you know that I love you. And what all my thoughts are of you. I am so completely yours. While I cry to hear folk chatter, and I know you cheat, but right or wrong don't matter. Anytime you're with me, sweet. I don't explain, 'cause you're my joy, my pain, and my life's yours, love. Don't even try to explain. Thank you, dog. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, I heard that. This is not a sad song. If the nightingale could sing like you, it would sing much sweeter than it do, 'cause you brought a new kind of love up to me. And if Sandman brought me dreams of you, I would dream of you the whole day through. 'Cause you brought a new kind of love up to me. I know that I am the slave while you're the king, but still you can try to understand that underneath it all you are just a man, and I am only a maid. I would work and slave the whole day through if I could hurry home to you, 'cause you brought a new kind of love to me. Of love to me. You brought a new kind of love to me. I know that I am the slave while you're the king, but still you can try to understand that underneath it all you are just a man. brought a new kind of love to me. Can't you see? You brought a new kind of love to me. To me. Thank you. Thank you very much, darlings. I want to do this song for all of you, but most especially for a man who has been my husband for a year now, last August 11th. I always dedicate this song to him. He's the gentleman that gave me the rose just before I came on stage. Symbolizes love. And this is a song that I really think belongs to him because he is exactly what the song says. Love is funny. Or it's sad. Or it's quiet or it's mad. It's a good thing or it's bad. But always beautiful. Beautiful to take that chance. Then if you fall, you fall. And I'm thinking, perhaps I would not mind at all. Not at all. Love is tearful or it's gay. It's a problem or it's play. And it can be a heartache either way. And sometimes, oftentimes, beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were ever mine, I could never, 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 never bear to let you go. And that would be but beautiful. I know. 'Cause you are so beautiful to me. Yes, you are. You and you and you and you and you too. You've always been so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I ever longed for. You are everything I ever need. And I said you're beautiful to me. Help me say it one more time. You've always been so beautiful to me. Yes, you have. You Robert Shy, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Shy. Dan Shapira. And Willie Pickens. They're beautiful, aren't they? They're beautiful. You know what? There's nothing any different about this jazz festival that has not been done a million times before. It always runs late. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a couple of our tunes, but we're going to do something for you before you... Wait just a minute now, don't get upset. But we want you to know that we want to hear Earl Father Hines, and I have to relate this story to you very shortly. Earl Father Hines was one of the first people with a really big, big name that gave me an audition when I first started to sing. Earl Father Hines. He's a grand man, and I want you to be able to appreciate him to the fullest. So we're going to do a couple of more things for you, and then we're going to split. But if we haven't gotten to you by now, we could stay up here for 15 more minutes or 20 more minutes, and we couldn't get to you. So if you've enjoyed what you... Okay, all right, that's great, okay. My little boat is like a note, bounce merrily along here, splashing up a song. The sails are white, the sky is bright, heading out into the blue with a crew of only two, where we could share a little salty air in a little paradise that gets afloat. Not a care have we in my little boat. The wind is still, we feel the thrill of a voyage heaven bound, though we only drift around, warmed by the sun to watch as one, meeting with enchanted bliss, melting in each other's kiss. When daylight ends and slyly sends little stars that twinkle brightly above, it is goodbye to my little boat of love. The wind is still, we feel the thrill of a voyage heaven bound, though we only drift around, warmed by the sun, two hearts as one, meeting with enchanted bliss, melting in each other's kiss. When daylight ends and sly God descends, little stars that twinkle brightly above, it is goodbye to my little boat of love. Arrivederci. Goodbye, 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 little boat. Speed do but do it, do it, do it, do it, do ya. Speed do but do it, do it. Goodbye, 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 little boat. I'ma see you later. Shalom. Aloha, arrivederci. Goodbye, 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 little boat. Speed do but do it. Goodbye, little boat. Goodbye, 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 little boat. I'ma see you later. Goodbye, little boat, goodbye. Goodbye, little boat. Little boat, goodbye. Goodbye, little boat, goodbye. Thank you. Place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air waits for us somewhere. I know there's a time somewhere, there's got to be a time time together with time to share. There's a time to learn and a time to care. Someday, some way, we'll find a new way of living. We will find that way of forgiving. I know it's out there somewhere. I believe there's a place for us. Somewhere there's got to be a place for us. Won't you take my hand? And we're halfway there. Hold my hand. I will take you there. Someday, some way, somewhere. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
One of Lorez Alexandria's fans broke through the security and gave her a single rose. A very beautiful gesture there. That was Lorez Alexandria. Willie Pickens, Dan Shapira, and Robert Shai made up the trio, piano, bass, and drums. And that was a very special set. The audience really reacted to that. I'm Billy Taylor, and this is Jazz Alive's exclusive broadcast of the Chicago Jazz Festival, celebrating Chicago jazz heritage. In a moment, we'll be back for our last set of the evening, and it's gonna jump. Talk about a second balcony jump. Earl Father Hines and his Grand Terrace Orchestra with Bud Johnson. So stay right where you are. We'll pause here for 10 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. From Chicago, this is NPR National Public Radio.
You're hearing live stereo coverage of the Chicago Jazz Festival on WBEZ Chicago.